You're not going to say a word to me? Okay, that's a good sign. Is that a no or a yes? You don't have to say it. You can nod. I take the silence as a maybe, since I'm being optimistic. So, during the HFM thing, after not doing so well, you laughed at all of us. It was very painful. And that's the thing. Maybe that's not what you intended to do. But if you don't communicate how you feel about something, how does anybody know what you really feel? I have that problem too. And I know you're saying the apology, you said, what did you say again? You said it doesn't matter now. But I think it does. It's like, or would you prefer a public apology in front of everybody? Would that make you feel better? If I apologize to you in front of everybody tomorrow, will it make you feel better? I'm serious, sir.
You know, yeah, guys, if there's one aspect of every Big Brother season that I really love and always look forward to, it's the aspect where the viewers project a lot. Especially those ones who are blind loyalists, neck-deep fanatics, yeah? You see those set of people, the way they project, the way they judge these housemates, the way they analyze situations around the house, also involving their faves, you know, with very, very, very skewed narratives, the way they literally twist and spin the narratives and everything, almost everything that involves their fave, right? I always find it very interesting. Why? Because I love to challenge them. I love to challenge them with questions which I know, you know, they would never be able to answer. And ladies and gentlemen, one of such occasions again presented itself late last night. You can call it the early hours of this morning, you know, when Faith had approached Imisi in the garden to apologize to her. Now, I listened to that whole, let's call it a monologue, because it wasn't really a conversation, right? A conversation is supposed to be more like a two-way street, right? You share, you get feedback, you share, you get feedback. Imisi was not necessarily responding. She wasn't. She was silent all through. Faith was doing most of the talking. Not most of the talking, was doing all the talking. And for over 11 minutes, Faith was the one talking. He was apologizing to Imisi. He was explaining himself, what exactly had happened. He had cited his reasons as to why he had reacted to her the way he had reacted to her on Monday night in the kitchen. Was it Monday night or Sunday night? Yeah. He had explained himself properly. I mean, he had given so much clarity, ladies and gentlemen. And from everything he had explained, even if you had missed all of those incidents when they had happened, from Faith's explanation, you would have gotten a clear picture of everything that had actually transpired between those two people that night, right? So I would call it a monologue and not necessarily a conversation, because it wasn't really a conversation. So, as I said, I watched that whole scene, yeah. I watched it, I listened to it. I was more observant of Imisi's body language. She wasn't really giving much away. She just sat there. She was making her hair. She wasn't paying. Okay, maybe she was paying attention. She was soaking it all in, probably. But Faith was the one doing the talking, right? And what was also very interesting is you could see how nervous he was. You could see how awkward that whole situation was. You could see how exhausting it was, because she was sitting, he was standing and eating, you know, but he was trying as much as possible to, you know, to ensure that there was no friction, that he just politely explained himself, and that was exactly what he did. But Imisi wasn't forthcoming, you know, so from time to time you would hear him ask her, okay, even if you don't want to talk, I understand, but just at least nod your head or shake your head to indicate a yes or a no, or you are listening to me or something, just give me something. But she wasn't giving away anything. Yeah. So once again, I watched that whole scene play out, and I would say that I could not blame either of both parties, right? Because their feelings are valid, yeah? And Imisi had the right to have been mute the way she was mute the entire time. Faith had the right to approach her for a truce, right? And for me, I just saw a situation where Imisi was not ready and will never be ready to accept Faith's apology, because earlier yesterday evening, she had had was it yesterday evening? Yeah, early evening, she had had a conversation with Big Soso. And Big Soso had advised her to make peace with her friends, because she herself has noticed that these were the people that actually had Imisi's back in the house. These are the people that were always there for her. They were her very good friends, and it doesn't matter if she has disagreement with her friends. She needs to always remember that they were once there for her. So she needs to make room in her heart for reconciliation. And Imisi told Big Soso that there was somebody she mentioned, but she didn't mention the name because the camera moved when they were already having the conversation. She said for that particular person, she would never, ever make peace with the person. She would never, ever apologize or make peace with the person. So I'm not really sure if she was referring to Faith or K-Bobo. I'm not really sure. So when I saw her attitude towards Faith's apologies that night, last night, I wasn't particularly surprised because, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting much from her. Now, as I said before, there were a number of things that were at play there, all right? Faith chose to be the bigger person by moving to Imisi to apologize. Now, prior to their fallout, if you've been watching the show consistently from day one, you will know that Faith was the first housemate that really took to liking Imisi, regardless of what the other housemates thought about her. From the very first week, a lot of the housemates had written off this girl. They looked at her like she did not fit in. They said she was weird. And of course, she did not help matters because she was doing the most to draw attention to herself. And the most that she was doing were mostly negative. She was always antagonizing people. She antagonized Jason J on Monday night, right after he had won Head of House. No, Sunday night after he had won Head of House challenge. Was it Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night. Yeah, the guys were introduced into the house on Sunday. Then that immediately afterwards, they had the first Head of House challenge of the season. And she was already antagonizing Jason J, she and Isabella. So ever since, she's been antagonizing people, just unnecessarily provoking people. She's been triggering people. She's been doing a lot. She's been doing the most. And a lot of people did not like her. And as at that point in time, people were prepared to deal with her the way she had been dealing with them. So she was creating a victimhood situation, a situation of, oh my God, because I'm poor, because I'm the way I am, they are bullying me. She was trying to play the victim card. So Faith, before clocking her game, decided that, no, I am not going to follow the bandwagon to be cruel to this girl. I'm going to be nice to her. I'm going to show her kindness. So we started having conversations with her and they became friends. But then, the thing about Big Brother's house is because it's a confined space, people can easily catch feelings for people that they spend a lot of time with. And so that was exactly what I say probably because I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm not there, right? But that was exactly what happened between Imisi and Faith. She caught feelings. She started liking this guy. In fact, her likeness turned into a serious crush on this guy. So Imisi's likeness for Faith evolved into a deep crush. At least, that is what she wants us to believe. Now, remember, Imisi is acting. From the very first week, she started with a lot of fights, a lot of animosity, a lot of agitations, a lot of antagonizing of people here and there. And then she decided to introduce a new storyline. And this storyline is shipping. Now, in order for a girl to ship in Big Brother's house, you need to make yourself presentable, right? You need to make yourself presentable. You need to make yourself alluring. You need to make yourself sexy, beautiful, catchy, eye-catching. You need to make yourself approachable. You want people to look at you and then they find something that is very attractive about you. Now with Imisi, she never bothered to make herself look any of these things I've actually mentioned. Instead, she started making herself to look more ugly. Yeah. Guys, stay with me on this one. I'm getting somewhere. She started making herself to look more ugly, like uglier and uglier by the day. The red drawings of eye pencils on her eye, whether she uses red lipsticks to draw her brows, I don't know what she uses. The red big dot that looks very fetish, I don't know what the hell that is. Drawing the top of her lips with very black pencil, and then, you know, the hair that she has on the side, that's her hair, right? But I mean, she could actually wax it, but she refuses to. So she makes herself to look very unkempt, you know, like, guys, I don't know, but like an eyesore. And you know, when a woman presents herself like that to a man, there's like maybe 5% chances or thereabouts that the man will look at you and like, oh my God, I'm in love, right? So she started making herself to look unpresentable, tacky, you know, very tacky, very like not aesthetically pleasing at all. But then she started chasing 3 different guys: Faith, K-Bobo, Kola. And then she started telling people that she was having small conversations with, that, oh, she likes these guys. She told Faith, she told K-Bobo, she told Kola, she told Dede. Who else did she tell? She told other people that she was having conversations with. And as she told them, she started spending time with these guys, invading their personal space, invading their privacy, forcing them for conversations until they started accepting to have conversations with her. Now, Faith remained consistent, remained a true friend. Every time he was having conversations with people, especially the likes of Sultana, Doris, Sabrina, and they started saying nasty things about Imisi, even Otega, you know, these people saying that, oh, Imisi is shallow, Imisi is this. Faith will always rise up to the occasion to defend Imisi and speak good things about her and tell these people that, listen, this girl, you people have never had a conversation with her. If you have a conversation with her, you will get to know her better. So Faith invested a lot of time and energy into building a beautiful friendship with Imisi. In other words, trying to let her know that, girl, you are different, but that does not mean that you are not acceptable here. You are acceptable. You're just as worthy to be here, just as everybody else. So as I said, their relationship has blossomed to that point, but Imisi wants us to believe that she has a crush on Faith. And so she started acting up. She started acting seductively around him, started demanding for sexual intimacies like, oh, touch my boobs, kiss me, hug me, cuddle me. She would seize some of his personal items and say, oh, before I give this to you, you must touch me. 2 weeks ago, during their wager task, was it 2 weeks ago? Yes, when they had their wager task, Imisi had stolen Faith's debate manuscript, his rebuttal. She had stolen it, given it to Doris. Doris and Gigi Jasmine were involved. She told K-Bobo, she told Manson, a lot of people. They connived. She's been doing a lot of dirty things to Faith just because the guy has been rejecting all of her advances. She's been harassing him in the dressing area consistently. Like, she will go in front of him, she'll be rubbing her boobs, to the point that we even heard a very, very nasty allegation from Sultana about Imisi, that, oh, on several occasions when they are in the kitchen, Imisi will be talking to Faith and she'll be fingering herself. Yep, she'll be fingering herself. That Faith has warned her several times to stop it, but she would not listen to him. She'll be looking at him, she'll be fingering herself, she'll be touching her boobs, She had that conversation with Gigi Jasmine and was it Sabrina? I think Sabrina was there, and Doris. And those ones were shocked. And we all know Sultana. Sultana says the craziest things. So all of these things have been going on. And according to what Imisi wants us to believe, she has a crush on this guy. This guy has rejected her. And so now she's going to revenge. She's now going to be acting like a woman scorned. So she had a diary session. And I told Big Brother that she's going to deal with him. She's going to be playing mind games with this guy for rejecting her. Big Brother did not stop her, neither did he caution her not to do it. Because at the end of the day, Big Brother told these housemates to do the most. So, Imisi's actions towards Faith has been quite provocative. And what happened in the kitchen was just one of them. What happened during the H&M task, is it HFM task, when she had said that, oh, she can do the puzzle, she wants to do the puzzle, and then she had gone ahead to sabotage the game, forgetting the fact that Faith is not the only one in that team. It's a bunch of 11 people on that team, but she went ahead to sabotage the task because she wanted to spite Faith. She did that. That was also very provocative. So she knows that Faith loves to win on task. And she knows that the guy is very principled. There are certain things he would not do just for the game. She keeps on doing all of those things to play mind games with him. And Faith has clocked Imisi's game. So he has not been indulging her. But on certain occasions, he will want to set her straight. So everything Faith explained to Imisi last night in his apologies, he was explaining why he had actually lost his temper with her. Imisi knows that she's in the wrong. But for her, she's playing a script. So she's going to continue staying in character, because if she breaks character, it's going to probably alter the course of that script that she's playing. Imisi is playing a lot of scripts. And the one she's playing with Faith right now, and K-Bobo, and probably the rest of the housemates, is with Faith. She's playing the script of hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You know, the one that has been rejected, I'm going to show him pepper. That's what she's doing to Faith. She's trying to tarnish his image, soil his reputation as a doctor, and to probably ruin his game. She's doing that. Now, she also liked K-Bobo, but K-Bobo did not give her the attention or light of day. So she's also disliking K-Bobo, even stopped talking to him at some point. And that was why when K-Bobo tried to talk to her the other night, when she was having issues with Faith, was it Faith? Yeah, when she was having issues with someone, she immediately started attacking K-Bobo. A lot of her fans were saying, oh, why did K-Bobo involve himself? K-Bobo should not have talked to her. Listen, these people were friends. But Imisi, once again, just like it happened with Faith, she felt she got rejected. And so she decided to begin to antagonize K-Bobo. And that was exactly what happened, that they both had that heated altercation in the garden the other night. Now with Kola, she knows that nothing can come out of whatever she has going on with Kola, because Kola is heavily chasing Dede. So what she's doing to Kola currently is she's selling fake dreams to Kola, lying to Kola that, oh, Dede really likes you, da 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 da, twisting the guy's brain. Kola is also seriously chasing Dede, which is also part of his game. Sometimes she poisons his mind, you know, telling things like, oh, Dede does not like you. So she's just confusing the guy. And all of these things she's doing, we know that she also likes Kola and she wants to be with Kola. Now, I'm saying that Imisi is leading us to believe all of these things are what is really going on with her. But in my opinion, some of it are real and some of it, they are just actings. English. Some of it, they are just things that she's acting based on the script that she came into the show with. So she's giving the, what's it called? The girl that likes to fight and quarrel. She's giving the girl that fell in love with 3 different guys, but they don't reciprocate her love because she's dirty looking, she's poor, she's wretched, she's this, she's that, she's not aesthetically pleasing, she does not have fine clothes. All of the things I'm saying, these are things that she actually complains to Big Brother in the diary room during her diary session. So please, I'm not cooking up anything in my head. These are things that she is selling to the viewers, and her fans are actually swallowing it up hook, line, and sinker, which is fine, because at the end of the day, it's a game. So ladies and gentlemen, I had to take my time to explain all of these things so that you will understand what is going on here. Because I listened to that conversation, and then of course, as usual, I went onto social media to see the reaction of the viewers, especially Mrs. fans. And these people were coming up with the most insane conspiracy theories or whatever it is they think they know. And I find it so ridiculous because they are saying that, oh, Faith knows that Imisi has a huge fan base and that is why he went back to go and apologize. And I'm like, do you really think that Imisi is the only person that actually has fans in that house? Seriously. And then they came up with this one that he wants to do his dreadlocks on his hair. Imisi was the one that helped him the first time. So because he wants to do dreadlocks, that's why he's going to go and apologize to Imisi. And I'm thinking, well, if you all had spent your time really watching the show for yourself to understand things, you would have known that this is who Faith is. Faith is always the bigger person, especially for people that he really cares about in that house. He will apologize when he needs to apologize. And that was him being the bigger person last night. And then they were also talking about, oh yes, and they were happy how Imisi did not respond to him because Faith really insulted her, called her filthy, poor, wretched, da 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 da, he shamed her. And I'm like, well, since people always enjoy embracing selective amnesia, can I remind you all that Faith has never for once this season gone out of his way to attack Imisi unprovoked. Never. And that is a fact. Faith has never sat down to maliciously talk about Imisi. But who does it? Imisi. Faith has never maliciously decided to pull a prank on Imisi or connive with other housemates to deal with Imisi in the most cruel way. He has never. But who does it to him? Imisi. Why? Because he's not touching her or being intimate with her the way she wants in the house. Every single insult that Faith has insulted Imisi during the altercation, Imisi has said words to him first. So all he does is retaliation. Why? Because he's human as well. The fact that Faith smiles in the face of adversity does not mean that he does not feel what he should feel at that point in time. The fact that Imisi knows how to cry and throw tantrums does not mean that she's not the villain. Imisi is the villain. She made herself the villain. Nobody made her the villain. The fact that Faith smiles when standing his ground and defending himself against Imisi does not make him the villain. He is always the victim in every of those situations. So looking at Imisi's fans' reactions, I was laughing and I'm like, oh my God, this is how they all pack themselves, as a group of headless chickens, and then they give themselves a ridiculous, nonsensical pat on the back, encouraging themselves that they know what they're talking about when they know nothing. They know absolutely nothing. So for me, I give accolades to Faith on making that bold move, to go apologize to Imisi, because the one thing he said in his apology was, listen, I'm not comfortable that we're having this rift. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be here. You are also going to be in this house for a long time. And I wouldn't want us to be enemies. Like, I'm paraphrasing what he said. Like, I wouldn't want us to be enemies in this house for as long as we're here together. Because it's true. There's how many weeks more to go in the show? 6 more weeks. So do you think it's going to make sense that both of them, they are not talking for the next 6 weeks? And imagine one day in Big Brother's house. One day in Big Brother's house is like 1 month. So that was what he said. But Imisi's delusional fans, they interpreted it to mean that, Faith has seen that Imisi is a strong contender. She has a huge fan base. That is why he ran to go and apologize, because he's afraid. Indeed. The delusion is deep. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me if I think Faith did the right thing by going to apologize to Imisi, I would say he did the right thing. At least his conscience is clear now. Yeah, his conscience is clear. Do I think Imisi did the right thing by being mute all through? Well, I would say that it is all up to her. Because the thing is, Faith was ready to apologize. Imisi was not ready to accept the apology. So I cannot judge her and say she was wrong for not responding. No, she had a right to either say something or not say anything. But now it is in the books that Faith went to apologize to her. So she cannot say tomorrow that Faith did not apologize to her. Whether she wants to accept the apology or not, it is up to her. But Faith has done what a grown adult should do. And that is okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm going to stop talking here right now because I would love to hear from all of you. So please go ahead, share your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about Faith going ahead to apologize to Imisi? Are you happy about it, or do you think he shouldn't have even bothered? And what do you think about Imisi's response or lack of response to him? Share your thoughts in the comment section. I will see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.